Hello, and welcome to the final session of Bite Marks held on the Gauntlet. You can find us at gauntlet-rpg.com. So if you've been keeping up with us, you know what's going on. If you haven't, go catch up with the stuff in the back, because we are going to be barreling through. So our alpha is back, and tonight I am in my only wrestling shirt with Powerade to simulate Ichi drinking with the pack. But our Alpha gets to start our toasting. So, Alpha, what do you hope for the best for the pack?
Ooh. I hope for the pack that we will find ways to make our hearts stronger, make our bonds the strongest, and know that we can always count on each other and always trust each other. And Lincoln, why did you go next?
Let us defend our packs from our, I can't talk, sorry. Let us defend our pack from these enemies with tooth and claw.
You get to decide who speaks next, though, Lincoln.
I think Lincoln will look over at Colt and raise an eyebrow.
I hope that we're able to share our strength with our community. And I think Colt will give Ichi the nod next, I think.
May we do whatever must be done in style. And Ichi will clasp Garrett on the shoulder and ruffle the old man.
I just hope Miss Libby and her friends fund Paolo's restaurant and that ain't none of us have to see her demented friends' knickknacks.
With that, let's begin with the session begin move that our Alpha has.
That's right, that's right. And I forgot to open the rule for your party link, so let me just do that right now. Hunt through all the links. Okay.
It's in lines, yeah.
Yeah, here we go. Opening it up. I'm gonna roll with oh, I always love seeing this doggy. Okay. That is a 4, 5, 6 plus, let's see, 8 in total. So on an 8, ooh, yeah, I'm gonna give one pack mate +1 to disobey and another one -1. So I feel like from what Accalia heard of what happened with the wolf and what Lincoln was trying to do, I think I'll give Lincoln a +1 to disobey, and I'm probably a little worried about Colt, so a -1 to disobey.
Okay, so I think I'm going to hard frame a scene with Accalia, Garrett, Jesse, and Paolo, and you all are at Paolo's house as he is having you all help him prepare for the cookout. And I think, he has, now that he lives alone in this large house, it's just, it's very spacious, sort of smells a bit of loneliness now that, one guy lives in this 2.5 story place. The kitchen is large. There's this huge island with lots of different meats splayed out, just lots of different spices, chilies. It is an amazing zest of this for the senses in this kitchen, and I think Jessie is here as she is basically brining stuff in moonshine for the cookout with the potency she has, and Paolo is, I think, looking a bit worried, just in that chef's worry of will this come out, will this not, but I think Accalia, where were you last time? And are you here with good news or bad news?
Ooh. I think we talked about. Did Mateo come up last time in the last session?
Oh yeah, Mateo might have betrayed this town to the military.
Yeah, because I was thinking that Accalia was kind of rattled by Lincoln and that conversation that they had. I think Accalia spent this time trying to track down Mateo, their brother, to talk to them, to check in and see how they're doing. I don't think it went well, though.
And Garrett, you know of the pack Mateo is running with now. Tell us why it didn't go well.
They're a bunch of mangy mongrel curs. Half of them are inbred.
Yeah, I think they are known as the shock collar pack, also known as the mongrels in a colloquial term, because it's said that they breed with dogs. Oh, poor Mateo. And I think Paolo is almost burns himself, nearly drops a pan, pulls back, curses in Spanish, which I cannot do. So, and looks like, oh crap! I've got to get this right. Garrett, can you hand me the pot holder real quick?
Here you go, Paolo.
And he takes it, and I think he looks back at Accalia and doesn't meet her eye, very submissive in a way. It's just, I do have some news. It's totally collarless, but Miss Libby and Garrett have been talking, and I think if I do this right, this cookout right, I might have a restaurant. I mean, that's okay, right, boss?
Oh, a restaurant? And Accalia's kind of still rattled from what they've been through. What do you mean a restaurant? How much attention are we talking about here?
Oh, I don't plan to get on the Food Network or anything big like that, but I mean, this would be sort of an inspirational story if it got out, I guess. I mean, photo ops would be okay and shit like that, but
Miss Libby and her friends, well, they got run out of the cafe in town because one of Miss Libby's friends, like I said in the toast, showed her knickknacks. She's got a touch of the old timers, and so basically, as long as Paulo is tolerant of her peccadillos, then Miss Libby and her friends want to open up a social club where they can have little finger sandwiches and tea sets, and Paulo can cook whatever the hell he wants. So it's more of a local thing, I think. Kind of some nice old ladies just want to have a nice place where they can socialize and play cards, and Paulo gets to cook it in the bargain.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Paulo, this would make you happy. If this is what you want to do, then we'll help you.
I think You hear the crash of a plate behind you, and Jesse is looking angry at Accalia and Garrett. Oh, so when the newbie wants something, it's perfectly okay. But when I want to have some time with my fucking family, it's a no-go. They're too human. Well, fuck you, Accalia.
Ooh, I am going to. I'm going to dominate because it's unacceptable while we're having this conversation with Paula that she'll make it about her. This is not correct pack behavior. So I'm going to use my move where I get to I'm going to play on her emotions and use heart instead of teeth. I'll do that by saying, Jesse, this is not the first time that you've put yourself ahead of the rest of the pack. After everything Paolo's been through, I think the least we can do is try to support him. Don't assume that the pack is not going to try to help you as well. And I'm going to roll. Wow, that is a 13.
The chef's failure. So on this heart, no. Yeah, I think she calms down and like looks at it. I think she like sees Paulo's face, like the plate she broke, like might be something more sentimental than she thought, and she stops and says, "I'm sorry. It's just hearing about these people using us, taking our bits and pieces, and the idea that we might even get a bit more fame. Kind of, I'm not used to being fucking scared. Okay, I don't like this."
I understand, and fear is difficult, and we all make mistakes because of it. But look, Jesse, when we have the time, which could be very soon, let's talk about this. But why do we focus on Paolo first?
She nods and I think goes back to applying like the hickory barbecue rub to the venison.
And I look over at Garrett and I say, so, old timer, sorry I haven't been around. How have things been?
Oh, about normal. Jesse's been Jesse, as you can tell.
I can tell.
Can't help but think that maybe the reason she's a mind on edge right now is because she's a little more sober than normal.
Yeah, maybe you should go fix that.
Well, truth be told, I think if that girl gets any more alcohol around her, she might go up in flames, because look at how much moonshine she's putting in for the brine.
Accalia, maybe using your good boy move to prompt Garrett to provoke a spill with Jesse.
That's a good one. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so my good boy move, when you ask a pack lead to make a move, praising them or emotionally boosting them, give them +1 on the move. I'm going to say, well, if more alcohol isn't a good idea, then maybe that heart to heart, I feel like it'll be a little difficult for me to get her to be honest, considering what just happened. But Garrett, you've always been good at getting people to talk, right? You can handle this.
You want to go do that now?
Yeah, if you could.
I'm on it.
Thanks,
But otherwise, everything's, Lincoln's been a mite rattled. Last couple of days haven't gone especially well for him.
Oh.
Colt's been hanging out with this nice young boy named Freddy.
Which one's Freddy again?
He's that kid who wants to do that YouTube thing about like and watch or something like that.
Oh, right. The one that Colt was eating with his eyes. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, he seems like a sweet, well-intentioned kid. Just might clueless. But Lincoln, things been might rough for him. Just things not going his way. He's been trying to throw his weight around, and his weight's been getting thrown back.
Yeah, that's on me for leaving Lincoln to deal with all of this.
Well, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen Lincoln get kind of pushback he's been getting. Normally, he's real effective, but I don't know. He probably just needs a quick boost, somebody to bolster his spirits or something like that. But I'll go talk Jessie down off of whatever the hell ledge she's on today. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll go talk to Lincoln. Yeah. Thanks so much, guys.
Of course.
Yeah, so Garrett, how do you provoke a spill with Jessie and take +1 forward to doing so?
I pull a pack of cigarettes out of my shirt sleeve, start tapping it on my hand, and say, "Jessie, let's go. Let's us go for a walk. Figure you need 7 to 15 minutes away from this. Take a quick break. What do you say?"
Are those menthol?
What kind of savage do you mistake me for, girl? These are filterless.
Okay.
You're lucky.
Yeah, she'll go with you.
You want to talk about what happened in there?
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to come off as a weak little bitch.
Jessie, I love you like you're my own kid. You're damn near a granddaughter to me. If you can't spill to a grumpy old man like me, who the hell can you spill to?
I think, you hand her a cigarette and roll.
Spills with heart, right?
Yes, it is.
That actually was the same roll that the dice had on them. Mind if I delete them and start over?
Don't need to delete them, just highlight over them and retry it. It does that every now and again.
All right, that's a 9 plus whatever my heart is, which I think is...
I think you got a +3 total with that, with the boosted +1.
Sounds right. Yeah, I've got a heart of 2, so that's 3. So there's boxcars, effectively.
Okay. So, yeah, I think she's going to spill, Okay, I'll give you a choice, Garrett. Are you more afraid of what she's angry about or what she's afraid of?
What am I more afraid of?
Now, what are you more curious about her? Is what she's angry about or what Jessie's afraid of?
Damn it, now I want to know both. Well, let's deal with fear, because for better or worse, anger and rage generate a future.
I think she's she just you see her biting down on the cigarette, putting an indentation with her teeth that shows the stress she's under. She takes this deep, long inhale that is like Cruella de Vil pull on the cigarette and just exhales this cloud. It's my cousin, not Colt, but one of ours, human half cousin. I don't know the semantics. I mean, he escaped the wreath treatment our family gets, so I mean, good for him.
What's going on with him?
He signed up for the army last year. The fucking recruiter got him. I think I think he's with those fucking soldiers. What if Accalia orders us to kill them? What if we have to fight them? I don't want to kill my family. Even for the pack, I can't kill family for family.
That's some Hatfield McCoy shit you going on there, girl.
And I just want some time to go and like talk to the family, maybe talk to him, see if there's like a loophole or get him out of there. Just, I don't know, get him so drunk that I can drag him home. Anything.
You know what? I know there's times when someone in the military can get family hardship leave. So take another drag. I'll cover for you with the pack. You go look into that, see what you can do to get about getting your cousin or half cousin or quarter cousin or 18th cousin 17 times removed or whatever the fuck he is clear of this mess before we have to do anything. Shit, tell him somebody's got some kind of goddamn rare cancer or something like that. They need a bone marrow transplant from him because it's the only bone marrow that'll match or whatever. Maybe they'll ought to get him out of the way.
I think she just throws her arms around you. And,
Go on now.
Okay, just...
Scoot. Get it done.
Just help finish with Paulo, too. I mean...
Oh, I ain't going anywhere. I'm here.
Okay.
We're going to get Paulo his restaurant. He needs something good, too.
And so she will run off. And I am curious, Lincoln, what have you been up to since Accalia's been back?
Avoiding her. I don't know. I think probably trying to work off all of the anger by doing physical activity. If maybe Ichi has a punching bag or something.
Oh, Ichi's house has his own personal gym. He does not stay that ripped just by being a werewolf.
Yeah, I think he probably has been like punching it really hard. I don't know if Ichi's there or if he's just like somehow has access.
I'm going to say Ichi does like Colt. If Ichi is there, does Colt want to be there as well?
Probably not right now. I might join the scene if it looks like it would be fun to do so. But yeah,
Okay.
Lincoln is shirtless and sweaty. If that entices Colt.
I may turn up partway through.
I think Ichi is doing some deadlifts in the corner, watching you punch. And I think like there's this like every punch there's like a splash image of like what you're thinking about. You know, Mateo, the pack, Accalia, all these. And then like there's this just big, huge punch, and like the punching bag cracks a little bit, and some of the sand begins pouring out. And Ichi looks up. Oh, hey, whoa! That's a classic, man. You got to be careful.
It's either break the punching bag or break someone else, Ichi. And I don't think that would be wise right now.
You know, you'd be great in the ring. I mean, we could get you a gimmick. You could take out your aggression on these people. I mean, you'd have to probably quit being a nurse. Though if you get the drugs, maybe like halftime nurse. That could be your gimmick, the halftime nurse.
Lincoln's just like halting like the bag coming back at him and just sighs like, I don't think that kind of life is for me. It's a little too public, too much, too extra.
I see. You are right. You are kind of a drudge without if you don't make yourself up. So it would be hard. You have to be fabulous for this life.
And Lincoln's just like, yeah, I think I leave that to you, Ichi. You are our fabulous wolf of the ring.
Well, I mean, I do other things like try to keep Aunt Gert in line and, just do my best, but the human world is so exciting still, and I mean, I can't escape that call, and if you're not made for fame, I guess I am.
Human world is a dangerous place too. Seeing what they've been capable of recently.
Yeah, it's really creepy, and I mean, some of those military guys have been coming to the shows now and again, and you don't think they're on to me or anything, do you?
I know they've got some of our scent, some of our fur. I don't know if they can track us by that somehow, but maybe. Have they been bothering you?
Well, no, I am a face, so I think they've been cheering for me. I think the promotion's been making us do some like pro-Americana stuff, which thankfully my gimmick, like points to being a huge Japanese luchador that kind of keeps me away from. But yeah, I think they love the pandering.
Whatever it takes to get the money, I guess. And there's a lot of money with these guys, I'm assuming.
Give me 1 second. There's a train coming. Yeah, and I think he smiles and is like, so, you did deliver the news about Mateo maybe betraying the pack, or have you, Lincoln?
I did. I mean, I think I told everyone. Maybe I haven't told Accalia, but that will be dealt with.
Yeah, so I think Ichi will like come over and like place a hand on your shoulder. It's like, it's okay. I mean, with the people he's running with now, it makes sense why he did what he did. It was pretty cruel how he got kicked out of here. I don't agree with that at all.
He just shouldn't have been there at all. Of all of us, really. And I don't understand how it hasn't been that long. How could he have changed so much to just betray us?
Well, desperate people do desperate things. And I mean, he had to pick up so much slack after Garrett just sort of sidelined himself after Accalia became pack leader. Makes sense he'd eventually break.
Am I spilling?
If you want to, you
I
certainly
guess I
can.
Okay. I will spill and express why I am hurting. And I think Lincoln just like punches the bag kind of half-heartedly and it's just like, it's just he knows I'm part of this pack. He knows that what he's done means that Accalia is most likely going to order me to do something that I don't want to do. And I just can't believe he would do that to me. I thought maybe I meant more to him. I guess. Like, I don't know.
I think Ichi sighs. Like, this may be a Ricky Dozen play. It's a very famous Japanese pro wrestling play. You send out someone who is in your team, in your stable, and they go up against, your biggest opponent or someone who threatens you. They get the crap beat out of them, then you swoop in and save them. Very simple, but fans loved it. He might be trying to set us up to need him again.
Well, that's what he's planning. He's putting a lot of lives in danger.
I didn't say he was good at planning. I mean, there's a reason Accalia became alpha, after all, between them.
You're right. That planning was never his strong suit. Honestly, his strong suit was probably feeling too much. I don't know.
Well, I'm always here for you if you need me, unless, of course, I'm in the ring. And I think he gives you a special rock to hold a key to his place, so you can come and use his gym whenever you need. Oh, Colt.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think this is maybe the point. You can, hear the door opening off, and Colt calls out, "Hey, Ichi, I got those protein shakes you were looking for." And he kind of opens the door to the gym with a shopping bag in his hand, and just sort of pauses in the doorway. And he's see his nostrils see his nostrils flare for a moment, and he just says, "Oh, God damn it, this is not fair. Here, take it." And he's just kind of pointedly turned his back to the room and is just staring out the door again.
I think Ichi comes over, takes it, and puts one sweaty hand on Colt's shirt. "Don't worry, little pup. Don't you having a camping trip tonight?"
Yeah, it ought to be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Good. Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Lincoln's not putting a shirt on, and it's just chuckling and says, "Got your sleeping bag already?"
Go to hell, Lincoln. He's not angry as he says it, but yeah.
I think Lincoln just crosses his arms.
Yeah, Ichi will hand Colt $60, but wrapped in the middle of the $60 is a pack of condoms.
Colt will slip those into his pocket.
And I am curious now about this camping trip. Is everyone else?
Are you kidding me? Hell yeah.
So yeah, Colt, it is, I think, just past dusk. I think Treasure is the one who's setting up all the equipment. She set up her own special tents because you guys are going to share one. You have 3 sleeping bags, but only 2 tents. Who could have thought this was a good plan? And I think, they have, I think Treasure is off playing with the drone at the moment with Freddy setting up the small bit of camera stuff they have around the camp to prepare for like in case anything comes through at night to sniff the tents or get caught on night vision. But I think Freddy's like leaning up in a tree at like tiptoes near a tree, his shirt raising to bare his midriff, just like Colt's picture as he gets the camera ready. What do you do, Colt?
So, what's the plan for tonight? Are we? You going to do any like stuff on camera, or is it all just going to be sitting here and waiting to see if we see anything?
Well, it's going to be a bit too dark to get anything but the night vision stuff soon. I'll probably do a bit of the night vision before we go to bed, but I think I'm going to wait until the morning to get like the welcome to Lycan Watch, the newest show on YouTube. And, you know, does like the expressive pose as he says that.
Cool. So, what did you have in mind while we're waiting for these wolves to show themselves?
Well, I know Treasure brought her Nintendo Switch and a power source, and you know, her Beats noise-canceling headphones because she's been bothering me a lot, and I don't know. I brought this, burner tray, and I thought maybe we could make a stew or like I have some cheese and beer if you want like fondue maybe. I don't know. I mean, I am Jessup born and bred, so I can't say I know much about dipping things in cheese besides nachos.
I'm sure we can find something that we can dip in there.
I think he again blushes a bit, and then he thinks with it, wait, that's boiling hot cheese. That line wasn't sexy. And I think as he's sitting up at that moment, you hear a... well, let me see. Lincoln, did Mateo have a specific howl?
I think it's like not, I mean, like all the wolves probably have distinct howls, but I think like Mateo's is like a timbre below Accalia's, and maybe it's just that subtle enough that you would only know it if you really knew them, potentially.
Oh, and Colt, you're new. Did you ever meet Mateo since you are the cub?
Probably not as a wolf. No, I probably knew him as a person, sort of thing, but probably not. I imagine that I joined the pack after he'd been banished.
Yeah, so I think you hear what sounds like Accalia's howl in the distance. Maybe she's going to do a friendly run by tonight and give you some, camera stuff that won't leave the Lycan Watch completely desolate. How friendly! And maybe she's just checking on you because she's a nosy Aunt Gert in the making.
Well, it sounds like we got some wolves in the area anyway. Maybe we will get lucky tonight.
Oh, yeah, I mean, getting lucky, that sounds cool. I mean, with wolves. No, not with wolves! But, oh, shit.
Maybe we'll just save the dancing for the wolves, Freddy?
I think like he sees the drone like raise out of the trees several like yards away, and he just says like, I really can't handle this much anymore. The tent's up. Do you want to go make out for a bit?
Absolutely. That sounds like a good use of our time, I'd say.
Yeah, I think we will fade to black until much unless I will leave it up to Colt. Do you want to use the sex moves that we have not yet seen in this game?
Yeah, go on. So mine is
They only work with player characters, though.
they do, yes, that's true. Yes, I've got
Dang.
yep.
Yeah, so I think it is nearing, the witching hour. You guys have been bewitched for quite some time, and that's when the low padding sounds of a wolf can be heard outside. Well, Colt knows it's a wolf, and it smells similar to Accalia, but so different. Actually, the more you smell it, it doesn't really smell like a wolf. It smells almost like a dog, but way too big. What do you do, Colt?
I think that Colt is going to um leave the tent and head outside and take a look around and sniff around and see if he can find this interloper.
Do you want to use your keen senses to...
I do indeed. So that is
should be
I
with
forget which one it is. It is
Harness the
heart,
Wolf
isn't
Heart,
it?
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I always remember that it's not the one it says, but can't remember which way around it is. So that is a 10 in total.
Ooh, ask 3.
Cool. So, what is the strongest emotion in this location?
I'm going to give you sort of a twofer for this. There is anger, but it isn't... It's like diluted anger. And being restrained by what feels like domination. What you smell when people are dominated by another alpha.
Cool. What do they really want?
They want you. They want a werewolf.
And where is my prey?
Well, besides the snack that is asleep in the tent, um, uh, there is. I think you can see that they are just beyond the camera's reach. You can see several like large footprints. Again, these are more like a instead of like a wolf's footprints, these are like a Rottweiler's, just really large and spread out.
Cool. So yeah, I think Colt will start walking out from the camp towards where they've spotted the this wolf dog, and again he's going to make sure that he's out of sight of the cameras, and is going to transform, I think.
Oh, yay! And don't forget about that move that whenever you're in danger, you can just call a packmate.
Yep. And go on. I will I will I will give in to the wolf. That's a 10.
Sweet. Choose 2.
I am going to choose. I'm going to choose. I think actually I'm just going to go for. Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for the +2 armor and +1 harm for my biting claws. In case this does come to violence, and yeah, once I've transformed, I will let out not like a full on howl, but I will let out a sort of sound of like announcing my presence, sort of thing, and I will pad towards this visitor.
I think the bushes shake. You see sets of eyes gleaming in the moonlight. The moon becoming ever closer to full as these over-muscled, like if you ever seen that dog from the Looney Tunes that was the little kitten's partner. It's like way too front built. The back legs almost like forgotten in this huge mass of muscle up front. But they all have like different mottled fur and a collar. But instead of a like name tag, there is a military medal with a dog's head chomping over a wolf's neck. What do you do as they come out of the bushes? You are muted.
Sorry, I will let out a kind of warning growl to try and get them to back off, but I will be kind of circling myself between them and the tents. Yeah, I think that's
okay. The largest of them, who is mostly brown with some yellow mottling and a huge scar on his chest, jolts towards you.
Yeah, as he comes towards me, I will lunge in towards him and attempt to grab him by the throat and yeah, pull him to the ground.
Roll to maul.
Certainly.
Our cub is all grown up.
Well, that's snake eyes, and my teeth is my teeth is 0. Sorry, not -1. So yeah, that's a 2.
Yeah, so I think this is not as feral as you would thought. You feel your teeth go around this thing's neck, but before you can bite down, the feeling of another muscled body tackles into your side and jerks you off, and this huge, meaty paw slams down on your side. And I think you will take only 1 harm thanks to your 2 armor, as this thing brutalizes your softer organs from on your stomach.
I think I will let out a yelp, but I will turn on this other dog that's come in, and I will snap at it and sort of attempt to I'll sort of bite at it and possibly even like claw at it a bit as well.
Sounds like you're trying to maul once more.
Yeah. Ooh, and that's an 11. Slightly better.
Okay, so pick 2, I believe.
Yeah, I think. I think that I'm going to. I think I'm going to pick. I knock someone out. So I think maybe this one that I kind of turned on. I think maybe I just like throw it against a tree or something, and it falls down stunned. But I'm also going to choose to impress or intimidate somebody. So I think maybe I'm putting in a bit of a better showing than they were expecting, maybe. And they realize I'm maybe not as easy to take down as they thought.
Okay, and I think as you lunge this thing off of you and send it flying into a tree, you do impress them, but there is another meaty paw smacking your face as the larger brown mottled one comes closer, and you take another harm. And I think it is stopped, and like it's sniffing you now, and you see a hungry look, the same kind of hungry look you remember from the back of Ichi's truck with Lincoln and Imram. Yeah, so they are impressed the moment one has been knocked out. I think a second is circling around you, trying to get you in like a pincher position between both of them. What do you do?
I am going to, as it's sort of circling around, I'm going to let out a growl to the one that seems to be in charge, the biggest one, and I'm going to basically try and cow him into backing down.
Okay, sounds like you're acting on instinct.
I was thinking dominate, maybe actually. Though acting
I
on
think
instinct
since he is
works
since he's an alpha of his pack, it would not work. So, yeah.
Okay, sure thing. Yep. I will act on instinct then. That is a 7, I think. Yes, that's a 7.
So let me check to make sure I get this correct, because I don't think. Yeah, he is backing off. The one behind you is backing off towards the tents.
Sure thing. So yeah, I think in which case, yeah, I will turn on the one that's going towards a tent and just charge for it and attempt to take it down before it gets there.
Roll to maul once more. This can't go bad again.
That's a 5.
So you tackle this thing and you burst onto the opening. You and this big dog soldier fighting, trying to outmaneuver each other directly on camera. You end up striking a powerful blow to this over-muscled left leg, taking it down a notch as it slowly begins to back away. I think you can taste the disturbing similarity of Accalia's. It almost tastes like how Accalia smells, this blood, but mixed with a very strange human.
Cool. Yeah, so I think that will kind of give Colt a moment's pause, and I think he'll maybe back off a little bit, but he'll do that sort of thing where he's kind of going to back off but circle back around again. So once more put himself between this thing and the tent.
Yeah, I think this thing's injured but not giving up. The other one steps out in front of the camera, and I think they will. They both go for a pincher maneuver, trying to take you down, as they still want you. And it seems that this is the place to make you slip up. So I need you to perhaps act on instinct to outmaneuver them.
Sure thing. That's an 8.
Yeah, you definitely outmaneuver them, and I think that you are running into the woods, taking them away from the camp as Freddy and Treasure come out of their tents finally, and are going to go check the footage. I think you will be able to lead, as this scene has gone on, you will be able to lead them on a long and distinct trip, but by the time you've gotten rid of them and come back to the camp, Freddy is completely at wit's end without being able to find you, and Treasure seems to be quite amped about their what they've captured on film. And I think once you enter the clearing, Freddy will throw himself around you, sobbing, and it turns into sobbing from stress, relief, to success. And it's like, you're never going to believe what we caught on camera. It's amazing.
Yeah. What did you see, Freddie? I heard there was some kind of commotion with the dogs and such. That's why I was so long in coming back. I didn't want to get up in the middle of some wolves or whatever going at it.
Yeah, this is cool. But look, come on, I'll show you the footage. And since you did go between wolf and human, you do heal 3 harm. But I think that will be the end of this scene and our beginning of a break. Let's be back at 10 after.
The stomach for what it is you do.
Sad. I guess your brother had been so misleading with you. Or about you, I mean.
Oh. What did my brother say about me? Good things, I hope.
They're classified, I'm sorry.
I see. Well, you can keep your secrets. I don't think we have anything left to say to each other.
I see. Well, if that's the case, sleep well, Accalia. And he'll maneuver off, I think, letting, it feels too much like a symbiotic mob with him and his people moving in until there's almost like a signal and they disperse into the cookout. Lincoln, what do you do?
Because I think I look at Lincoln at that last line, like I'm just like locking eyes.
I guess I follow them. They're all going together into the crowd.
They were all going together, then they dispersed at once. But you can follow Imram easily.
Yeah, I'll follow Imram.
Yeah, I think Imram is going towards the recruitment center that is on this block or strip where the party is going on, and will. I think he does look around, like pull out a key and slip inside. Do you want to try and risk going in the back to see what he's talking about or doing? Act on instinct, Lincoln.
All right. That's 7. And what is act on instinct?
Barrel.
Okay.
And since you do know that these are your prey, you can have that +1 from your last Harness the Wolf. So that'd be a 10.
Yep, that is a 10.
Yeah, I think you the door is locked in back, but it's one of those push locks on the knob. You turn it just a bit too hard and sneak in, and that's when you hear I think that's when you hear Imram and the old recruiter talking. Like, we're running out of use for him. The one who came from this place. There's so little left of him, and we have so much work to do, Even with the little bit of trickle you've been getting in, that's been too much for this program to handle lately.
I think I will protect the pack. I will. I feel like Lincoln's instinct is to just it sounds like they're talking about Mateo. And I think my instinct is just to violence.
Just to violence.
Just to violence. Accalia's been rubbing off.
Yeah, so what do you do with violence?
I kind of there's just the two of them there?
Yes, Uncle Carl from Family Matters type recruiter and the muscular Imram.
I think I'm going to kind of from where I'm have slipped in, I'm going to try to just tackle Imram to the ground because I don't think the other guy's as much of a threat.
Okay, roll to maul.
All right. At the 9 plus, I think I have 2 feral. Oh wait, what is it, feral?
Teeth. Which I think you have 2 in.
Yeah, I also have 2, so that's 11.
Choose 2 options.
I will. I will discern my opponent's next move and impress or intimidate someone. So yeah, I think I want to try and if I can get Imram to the ground, kind of just hold him there with one arm and just say, "Where are you keeping him?" And as I'm just yelling that, hopefully that's intimidating to the guy.
Yeah, and I think you do that. Uncle Carl is now slipping and trying to undo his gun, but doesn't seem to be doing it quickly in this comedic sidekick blunder scene. But I think what you notice is that like you've knocked over this file on the desk, and it is pictures of like just different people in town, but like Aunt Gert is circled red. Then you see Miss Lily, no circle around her. Then you see Garrett, red circle. Then you see Colt, red question mark. Then like a piece of like hair attached to it, then a red circle around the hair. Then Paula, and I think what you discover is they're stalking you. Their next move is to determine when you're weakest.
I guess I have Imram on the ground still, and I'll just be like, your men, how many of them are here?
More than you guys are. And that's all that really matters right now, isn't it, dog?
They snarl and try to dominate him.
He is an alpha. You
Oh.
cannot.
Oh, okay. I think I'm gonna punch him.
This is not mauling. I assume just punching him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you punch him and he laughs. You punch him again, he keeps laughing. And you throw a third punch, and that's when he grabs your fist and throws you off of himself. And he stands up. Well, I don't know why you're so distressed about this. At least your old packmate was seeing some use.
Is he alive? What have you done?
I've utilized him. He's alive. For now.
Oh, I just want to rush him again and maul him.
I will let you know that
Okay.
Uncle Carl has his gun out now.
Oh, okay. It's probably not the best idea.
No, but I mean, if you do, that could be considered crossing a line if you kill a very important figure in the military without your pack's permission.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not in wolf form yet, so I feel like transforming is going to take time. Probably.
I'm fine with you being able to jump tackle him and transforming mid-tackle, as that is very action cool.
Okay, I will do that then. So I think
Harness
like
the wolf.
yeah, or is it give in to the wolf?
Oh, give in to the wolf, yeah. I think you're taking a -1 forward because you didn't pick that from the mall list.
Yep. Oh, that's a 6 plus my plus feral is 2, which is 8, minus 1 is 7.
So you get one choice.
I will. Let's reduce heart and guts by +2 total and increase teeth and feral by +2 total, which means both of those just go to 3 and heart and guts go down.
Yeah. And I think it is time to maul an Imram when you have that ready.
All right. That's a 7 plus 3 is a 10. Wait, I can't do math. Okay, that's a 7. I can't do math.
Do you get a...
Yeah, that's a 10. So I'll take 2. I will heal an extra harm, deal +1 harm, and knock them out.
Oh, no, you're
No?
not knocking him out.
Oh, okay.
Trust, with +1 harm, you're not knocking him out.
Okay.
You may want to take -1 harm because of the guy with the gun behind you.
I guess I can take -1 harm.
Yeah, so you turn into a wolf mid-lunge, and, well, Colt grabbed his neck last night and sort of softened it up for you.
Nice.
He goes down hard. Imram is no more. The only downside is the bullet does graze you, take 1 harm, but I think, yeah, you know, you got a 10. I'm not going to do it. I think Carl is going to hit the alarm when Imram goes down, and you are left covered in blood as you have crossed a major line.
Yeah, maybe. He pushed some buttons.
We can hear this now, right? Like the fighting.
Oh,
and
you heard the
and everything?
gunshot go off, yeah.
Accalia's gonna just rush towards that sound without thinking, just like smash the beer bottle on the side, and this small avocado of a person is going to rush over.
The door is locked, though, but you can see inside. If Lincoln is still in there, you can see the wolf. If he's not heading out back, but I think you will be able to see Imram's dead body.
I think Lincoln was probably still there.
Yeah, and I'm trying. I'm going to, when I see that, I'm going to allow my strength. I'm just gonna like crush the knob of the door, or just force it open, basically.
Or should I like unwolf?
You can do that if you'd like.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll unwolf. Does that remove harm?
Yes, you heal 3 harm.
Cool. That's all.
And also mark wolf XP for murder.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, and like as I, in my human form, I'm just like grabbing up those files and just like throwing them at Accalia as she's like rushing in. Or yeah.
What it, like I'm looking at the dead body, but I'm also looking at the photos. What is this? What, we have to clean this up.
They're here.
What?
There's a lot of them. They know who we are. They have Mateo.
Monsters.
He's alive.
You're both monsters. You're all monsters. This entire town's full of monsters. As Uncle Carl is pointing his gun at you both, trying to figure out who to shoot first.
I'm gonna push Lincoln behind me.
So now it's just up, down, up, down.
Yeah. True. Bend, Lincoln, bend. Anyway,
I'd like to walk in.
Go
Gently
ahead.
push Carl's arm down. Say, listen. This here's Texas. You know we don't intrude into other people's business. It's just not the way we do things here. We mind our own business, right? Here's just neighbors, none of whom have done anything at all to you. And it can stay that way.
Yeah. He's hysterical right now. You've pushed his gun down. I think he raises it, and you're closest. He is going to shoot you. Take 3 harm, Garrett.
Can I use borrowed trouble?
Yes, you may!
I redirect trouble from someone or something to you myself. Roll plus feral.
So am I holding on, taking the harm for the moment?
Yes, hold for a moment.
That's an 8 plus. Is my feral is back down to normal?
Just 2, so it's
Yeah.
just a 10.
It's just a 10. And so that means I am protecting escape the current danger. So I think, like, because I am Lincoln, the muscular and fast, I like push Accalia out of the way and like tackle Garrett to the ground.
And I think also the gun jams is like perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I think these, like, the last time it opened up, there's like this scene of like a bit of Garrett's Lincoln's wolf fur getting in there.
And I just say, Garrett, old man, maybe try not to get yourself shot.
Why? It's so much fun when I do.
You're a little bit more fragile than you were in your prime.
Keep talking pretty like that, Lincoln. I'll show you how fragile I am, whippersnapper.
Just get in line.
And I think from the back door there is a muscular, like Teddy Cruz-esque black man who starts motioning for you all to come with him, who has opened the door that Lincoln came in. And I think of you all, sadly, only Colt would recognize him, but Colt is not here.
Who? What?
The militia supports you. This way.
The militia. Shit. And like I grab Lincoln. We have to get out of here, and I get as many of the files as I can.
If I could actually do something real quick.
Please do.
Okay, you don't grab those files. Jesse gave me something special for this. And I produce a beer bottle with a rag. Yeah, she turns out some of the moonshine was a mite stronger than she expected. But it's real flammable.
The bitch can be useful sometimes. And I'm like, I throw the photos back towards the table. Let's see you do it, old man.
You got it. Pop open the Zippo, light the rag, get out. This thing will go up like a tinderbox.
And then I look at Lincoln and I follow the stranger out.
I think we will cut from the cookout for a bit. Well, we're going to go on break for a bit. And we will cut back to the cookout and see where this guy leaves the pack and see what happens when we take on the rest of the soldiers when we get back.
We did drag Uncle Carl out, right?
Oh, yeah. Uncle Carl's not going to go down with the ship. He's not that dutiful. And, yeah, let's be back at 5 after the hour. Hello, everyone. I think the oh, scones. I hope your cat doesn't get them. I think that it is time to oh, do we want to, since it is kind of nearing the end, do we want to focus on the pack being more taking the fight to the soldiers now, since you've been rescued by the militia? Do a hard frame of the entire pack, maybe planning out war strategies. Yeah, and I will say, Colt, you would know this person in the militia, because this is Freddy's dad, who you met the night you went camping. Before you went camping, of course, but...
Ah, excellent.
Yeah, there's a reason his son thinks werewolves are real, or at least isn't being stopped for looking for them. And I think, the militia is rather, I think, even smaller than your pack. There's like maybe 6 people who believe in this Jessup freedom kind of stuff, who believe in the pack or whatnot, and but you've been taken to sort of an out-of-the-way cabin in the woods style place of hiding. I think they're walking around, getting ready to like with weapons and things of that nature, talking about the soldiers who have come into Jessup and just are going against the laws of nature. And I think Accalia will be the first to notice that one of these women, one of the women militia members, is like reaching for something, like maybe making bullets and reaching for something, and her sleeve comes up, and you see a tattoo that looks like it may have been done by a mystic tattoo artist. What do you do?
Oops. Yeah, I'm trying to. So where are we exactly again? We're at
A cabin in the woods with the militia like hideout. And I think it's just like this very militant cabin type, very homesteady type, but with like a weapons manufacturing or like a Walking Dead cabin where like, they can make weapons to fight off zombies, kind of thing.
got it. Whew, I think I'm gonna definitely harness the wolf. To see what wants to be seen. And I'm going to roll with heart. Oop. That is a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I choose 3. Yeah, 3 questions. What smells wrong here?
Ooh. I think their knowledge, the fact that humans they have knowledge of werewolves and they're not trying to kill you. They're trying to work beside you. That seems like, I don't think you've ever heard of like you've heard of like plenty of like Inquisition types. You've never heard of like, Kiss as a lone individual. This seems like a group effort and seems weird.
Ooh, wow. What do they really want?
They want their control of Jessup back.
From the military, yeah. Where does the pack need to be? Like emotionally or physically?
The pack needs to be ready to move out. The iron is hot. It is near time to strike.
So when Accalia realizes that, they're going to step forward and they're going to say, I don't completely understand what's happening here, but if you're friends, if you're allies, then I need to know that if we're ready to do what we have to do.
We are, I think this is Freddy's dad talking as he sort of looks at Colt. We are allies of convenience right now, I think. Jessup should not be under the control of a group of military people looking to transform humans into monstrosities. You may not be entirely human, but you are best course for getting Jessup back to the proper state of things.
Strange bedfellows and all that.
Colt,
Appropriate words, Colt.
Colt, you know them.
I met Mr. Mr. Lawson the other evening. I wouldn't say we're all that close, but I certainly know these fellas been causing some problems for the military types.
Yes, I hope nothing untoward happened with my daughter last night, mister.
Oh, I can assure you I didn't lay a hand on her, sir.
And Garrett, these are strange bedfellows who are working with wolves. Do you maybe want to exposit stories about the myths of humans working with werewolves and what this may entail?
Well, it ain't the first time it happened. I mean, it's happened off and on throughout the years. You just get people who understand that, well, we're wolves. Wolves tend to be solitary. I mean, we hunt in packs, but we tend to mind our own business. We're good neighbors that way. And I mean, who doesn't like a neighbor that minds their own business and shows up if you need help? So, there's been some communities where they realize that this is just kind of the way that werewolves are. We're not beasts. We're not monstrosities. We just want to live our lives, do our things, and be in peace. And if they can accept that, then we can live together and we can work together and we can build a community together. But sometimes you get small-minded people with their small-minded little prejudices, and they think a different way, smaller way, and things usually get bloody. Or they want to try to take power for themselves, or they want to try to leverage it somehow, and those things tend not to work out. But if it's people who just want to live and let live, it works out just fine, or at least has in the past.
All right. Mark an experience in whichever track you want. So yeah, Accalia, this is not the first time the pack has worked with humans like this, but it is quite rare. And you are alpha. What do you want to do? And let me pressure you to say you have 16 pack. Look at the 12 pack option.
I was looking at that. I was thinking of calling it for sure. I was looking at it since like a few scenes ago. So I'm just going to read it out. Overwhelm them. Pay 12-pack pull, and no matter the odds, no matter your differences, the pack comes together and fights as one. Nothing can withstand you, and this battle is yours. Everyone describes one awesome thing they did, and the packmate who chose to make this move describes the overall glorious victory. And I feel like, are we cool with going for that?
Yep.
Yes, I think this is when Accalia, despite his round, short avocado-ness, the eyes just really like harden and say, all right, this is what we're going to do. and like I just bully my way into like looking at what maps they have or info they have, and I start bossing people around. But you know, I'm also like asking them questions like, who's best at this, who can do this, who can do that. Like I'm treating them like they're part of our pack for now, while also like prioritizing my pack in terms of what they can offer.
Yeah, and I think what will this will entail will be using the Great Old One as bait in a way of draw them out into the woods where they don't have their military surplus to deal with. You know, the pack overwhelms them out there, cleans up the grounds where they're probably keeping Mateo afterwards for a heart-wrenching scene of some kind. So yeah, I think we will start off with the people of the militia helping to set up an ambush with the Great Old One as the bait. Of course, with Imram dead, the new officer is striving to prove herself and has to take this bait. So, Colt, describe your amazing opportunity when you show these dog soldiers what you're made of once again.
Yeah, so I think obviously Colt in wolf form, like running through the trees, and I think he spots the soldier he injured the evening before. And I think just for a moment sort of stops there, and his kind of mouth hangs open with his tongue out in one of those kind of like sort of doggy grin type things. And he sort of says, well, looks like I'm going to get a chance to finish what I started, and throws himself at them and sort of bears them to the ground.
The soldiers begin to scatter, their bodies rippling into their muscular forms of dog soldiers as they realize they've been they've been tricked. I think, Lincoln, you're smelling Mateo's liver, kidneys, pieces of him in these people. What do you do to make them pay for what they've taken from you?
I think I let out a howl. And again, like Colt, I'm in my wolf form. I think that I just leap from one to another in sort of like a zigzag of like blood spray, kind of just like when I get a scent of like a piece of Mateo, I just turn towards it and kind of just like take out my anger on whichever soldier is closest, and then immediately turn to the next one.
Garrett, this feels like old times, back when you were a young wolf, back when you used to do this probably more often than you'd like to admit. Or maybe you admit it when you're drunk. Who knows how boisterous you get. But what are you doing to make your bones tonight?
I gave Jesse the keys to my truck, and we're just driving in a circle, and I'm chucking out Molotovs to encircle this little battlefield in a circle of fire to make sure that nobody gets out.
And Accalia, how does this all wind up? How is this wrapped up?
I think the whole time Accalia was when they transformed into their wolf form. The strange thing is they're ridiculously huge as a wolf. Like everything small about Accalia disappears, and but Accalia just spent the whole time just supporting the pack from behind, leading when needed. But I think at this time, Accalia sniffs out the leader here that's eager to prove themselves and takes their time with them, giving into their violence before letting out a large howl that cracks through the forest, pulling everyone together. But the howl is mixed with this tinge of grief and sadness as Accalia is overwhelmed with their memories of their brother.
Yeah, and I will say that you guys end up in the soldiers' encampment after this to help clean up. I think, a lot of the other people in the pack have been helping with this. Jesse with handing over Molotovs to Garrett, Ichi making sure that the people who did stay behind in camp have been knocked out with sleeper holds and pile drivers. I think that's when you guys are heading into the place. There is like this large medical hermetic looking tent, and Paulo lurches out from inside of it and just retches on the ground. What do you do?
Run into the tent, I think.
Okay, yeah, Lincoln, you will see on a bed, missing part of one arm, missing a leg, showing obvious signs of gratuitous surgery, Mateo on life support.
I think I transform back into a human and just fall next to the bed and just grab Mateo's hand.
I think at that point, Accalia shifts back into her human form and places a hand on Lincoln's shoulder and searches for any sign of consciousness from Mateo.
His eyes are still moving in rapid eye movement sleep. But they have luckily left him knocked out.
We have to bring him home.
If he just transformed, if he could just become a wolf again, that would help, right?
But why hasn't he? Maybe there's something wrong. If we wake him up,
He'll be in pain. But yeah, I guess we need to take him home.
I think the great old one enters in his albino human form, which is a bit shorter than Accalia, not by much, but still is a bit. And I think he looks down at Mateo and he shakes his head. They've not just taken pieces of him, my child. They've taken the wolf and transplanted it. There is no coming back from this.
how is that even possible?
They must have updated their methods since last time. They preferred my ilk because we heal from this. Take a lesser werewolf and you can make a handful of soldiers. Take one of us, you can make a battalion.
Can't you fix him? You're special.
I'm old. I'm not special. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
So he's just going to die as a human?
I'm afraid I don't see any other recourse. I mean, you can wake him up, transform him to a wolf, but it'll be a painful process in both regards.
What if I give him my wolf? We're brother and sister. There has to be a way. There has to be a way that the wolf will move through me and into him.
Yeah, I think he Accalia, I think you are both of you are naked and your tattoos are showing on your back. I think he oh yes, I think he gives this curious look at your tattoos and will then points like, bring me your youngest member.
Colt? But why?
Bring him fast. Time is slipping away.
And I nodded Lincoln. Can you get him? I'll stay with the old one.
Runs out as soon as probably the old one says, bring me your youngest member. And probably just like, I don't know if I have to bodily carry Colt.
I mean, you don't have to, but no, Colt will come, with
Yeah.
Love this pack. Yeah, I think the old one will I think Colt has not earned his tattoo yet, if that's okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think the old one will start taking some of the blood from out of the tube that is connected to Mateo's body, and out of the shadows, Kissa appears with his tattoo set. It's like, this is fortuitous. I can tie his life to Colt's. He will survive. He will come back to the pack. But what happens to Colt happens to your brother. What happens to your brother happens to Colt. Do you accept this difficulty, this burden, my cub?
I'll do it. It would be kind of an asshole move not to, right?
But does it have... That's a lot to ask of our cub. Why not me instead?
You have already been marked by the brand of freedom. He has not been marked.
Colt. I think Lincoln is like, his voice is probably cracking. He's like, you don't have to if you don't want to. And he's like looking between like Mateo and Colt and Accalia, and it's just like, you didn't know him. There's no reason.
And I don't want to chain your life to my brother's.
You both clearly care for him, and if I can do something to bring him back, then I'll do it for the pack. And we'll just have to make sure he stays nice and safe.
With everything I have, I'll protect you and him. Like this time, I won't let this happen again.
We'll do it together. We're family.
And thus, the healing tattoo ritual begins. There is a long montage of the needles going in, the tattoo slowly becoming fuller, and as the tattoo fills in, Mateo becomes more whole. And I think it's like the final stroke is in, Mateo's eyes open up, and we see the reflection of the full moon, like the rift in the tent. And if everyone feels good about that, that may be our ending. As I want to know about epilogues from our pack. So yeah, I think seeing as someone has had plenty of snacks this game, let's turn to Lincoln instead and see what you do with your new treat. How does Lincoln spend his time with this new endeavor?
I mean, I think it's cold at first. Like, the relationship isn't the same with Mateo as it was before. And like, Lincoln stays distant probably for a very, very long time from like both Mateo and Colt, just because it's like he's not sure exactly how to handle the fact that Colt did this, despite Colt potentially not really agreeing with Lincoln on some things, and also just like not knowing how Mateo, like it's a complicated thing. So Lincoln's still just gonna go like a lot of time brewing in the corner.
Can I add to that
Yeah.
complication?
Go ahead.
I think there's going to be a moment when, like, Accalia will be gone for a day or so, but then when Accalia shows up, it's Accalia shows up at the hospital where Lincoln works, and she just, in front of everybody, just confesses about how she's been feeling about Lincoln for a long time, but doesn't ask. But you know, it'll be like, I know what Mateo means to you. I know that he's more important to you than I am, and I can't have any room in my heart except for the pack. But I have to tell you this, or it's just going to eat away at me. I don't need you to say anything in return. I love you, and I'm sorry that I am what I am.
And I think, as they say, that I don't think Lincoln says anything. I think he just stares at Accalia as for like a really long time. Yeah.
I know that you and Mateo can be happy together, and that's, just give it a chance.
Oh. Yeah. And I think after that conversation, it's the first time that Lincoln really goes and talks to Mateo again.
Wonderful. Seeing as Accalia butted in wonderfully to that epilogue, what is your epilogue, Alpha?
I think Accalia is actually going to spend time with the old one and say, I know that this pack needs a alpha that's stronger than me, but I'm not willing to let go of this pack just yet. One day I may lose it, but it'll have to be taken from me. Until then, I'm just going to become stronger.
I think he will nod and share ancient wisdom with you from a being that is around 200 years old. You know, like, those kind of ancient trivia wisdoms, like in Jeopardy, you know, back when Jessup was a western town, they preferred their coffee with salt, not sugar. So yeah, Garrett, how is your epilogue?
Did Colt already do his?
No, he did not.
If it's okay, I'd like it if Colt went first.
That'll be fine with me. Is it with you, Colt?
Yeah, sure thing. So I think that we see Colt, back in the bar, pouring drinks. They're doing the usual. I think we see sort of Freddy come in and sit down, and the two of them chat for a bit. And are obviously close. And then I think there's just a moment where Colt kind of reaches down to the just reaches down to the bar, pulls out like a cocktail stick, just jabs it into one of his fingers, and goes, "I like to keep him on his toes."
Oh, God. And Garrett, the old man of the pack.
I'm driving in my truck, beat up old truck. Miss Libby's in the passenger seat. Colt and Freddy are in the back, along with Jesse, who is drinking and trying desperately to ignore these necking teenagers. Ellis's Burning Love is on the stereo. And we pass a sign on the highway that says San Antonio, 150 miles.
I sweetened that a bit with Jesse in the back, striking up a relationship with Treasure with like the drone deck.
You can try.
Well, thank you all for joining us on this Bite Marks excursion. I am glad it turned out as violently good as it did. I am going to say goodbye to us all and finish this recording. So we will do debrief off camera. Goodbye, Internet.